There is a moment when effort stops mattering, not because you became lazy, but because God stepped in front of you. You don't feel louder, you don't feel stronger, you feel aligned, and alignment moves systems. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. Isaiah 45:2. Notice what God says he fixes first. Not enemies, not people, systems, things designed to block you, structures meant to delay you, rules written to keep you contained. When God backs a man, systems don't resist. They fail. Opposition becomes sloppy. People who once moved strategically start making mistakes. Delays misfire. Traps expose themselves. Resistance collapses under its own weight. Because God doesn't overpower systems, he confuses them. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. Psalm 33:10. You don't have to outthink what opposes you. You just have to keep moving, while God dismantles it from the inside. This is where many men fail. They still knock on doors God already decided to open. But when God backs you, you don't request access. You arrive authorized, and all the people shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord. Deuteronomy 28:10. That's visibility without permission. You stop convincing, you stop justifying, you stop over-explaining. Systems respond to authority, not desperation. This isn't comfort favor, this is disruptive favor. The kind that makes rooms uneasy, the kind that shifts power without warning, the kind that exposes false leadership. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Psalm 23:5. God doesn't remove enemies first. He promotes you in front of them. That's not mercy, that's demonstration. You don't feel intimidating. Others feel unsettled. You don't threaten, you don't posture, but conversations change when you enter. Because when God backs a man, fear stops living in him and starts moving ahead of him. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth. Genesis 9:2. You don't carry panic anymore. You carry presence. Here's what most people expect: noise, chaos, drama. But God prefers silence. Things don't explode, they give way. Contracts shift, obstacles vanish, resistance withdraws. No announcement, just movement. By strength shall no man prevail. 1 Samuel 2:9. It wasn't force that moved it, it was backing. You don't wait for consensus, you don't pause for approval. Because war doesn't reward hesitation. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37:23. Ordered steps don't wander, they advance. You don't ask if it's the right time. You move, because delay already served its purpose. You speak less, but when you do, things shift. You don't convince, you declare. Kings shall shut their mouths at him. Isaiah 52:15. That's not influence, that's weight. You didn't come this far to be blocked. You didn't survive pressure to be contained. When God backs a man, systems don't negotiate. They fall, quietly, inevitably, completely. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Not because you're strong, but because heaven is in front of you. They thought it was luck. They thought it was timing. They thought someone helped you. No, they don't understand this level. Promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one, and setteth up another. Psalm 75, 6, 7. That verse is not encouragement. It is removal and replacement. God doesn't negotiate power. He reassigns it. When God backs a man, those sitting comfortably in positions they didn't earn start feeling pressure they can't explain, because heaven does audits, and when the books open, titles mean nothing. The Lord hath sworn and will not repent. Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. Isaiah 14:24. Read that again. God does not test ideas. He executes decisions. When he backs you, he is not experimenting. He is fulfilling intent. Brother, this is why resistance escalates right before collapse. Systems sense replacement before it happens. That's why they panic. That's why they tighten rules. That's why they suddenly notice you. Too late. I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come whose right it is. Ezekiel 21:27. That's not poetry. That's a warning to every structure built on pride. God does not repair corrupt systems. He overturns them. You're not breaking things. You're walking into what God already judged. That's why doors open that never responded before. That's why delays vanish without explanation. Heaven already ruled. You're just arriving on time. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Proverbs 16:7. Peace doesn't mean friendship. It means they stop resisting, not because they respect you, but because they fear who backs you. Brother, listen closely. When God backs a man, arguments stop working. Opposition loses confidence. People stop challenging you directly and start discussing you privately. That's authority. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. Deuteronomy 28:7. Before your face, not behind your back. God handles it openly. This is why you don't need to defend yourself anymore. Defending is for unsupported men. You move, God answers. Touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Psalm 105:15. That's not a quote people use to feel special. That's a boundary line heaven enforces. Cross it, and consequences follow. Brother, you didn't survive fire to blend in. You didn't endure pressure to ask permission. When God backs a man, systems fall, and history adjusts. Not loudly, not emotionally, inevitably. You are not lucky. You are not favored randomly. You are authorized. And when heaven authorizes movement, nothing standing in the wrong place survives.